Right then, let's talk. Let's talk about the fact that I've finally got a house. That me and my girlfriend have finally completed our house purchase. Everything's gone through. It only took 6 months, something like that, which is crazy, and which is something that I absolutely did not expect for it to take for it to take that long. It's kind of ridiculous. However, we weren't in a rush. There was no rush because we had time, and the longer it took, the more money we saved. So yeah, we weren't pushing anything. So I guess that's probably why it took 6 months. Just want to talk about the different things that I guess you come across. Some of the things that I didn't know at all when I first started the process, because I've just listened to a video this morning that I filmed, last year in March. Just to give a perspective, it's November now. And I was scared. I was scared to buy a house. I was worried. I did not feel ready at all. And in the video, it's not the house that I'm talking about. We didn't actually end up even getting that house. We ended up getting another one. But just that process of being scared was so useful for me. I was scared to, but I'll post the video, but I was scared to, essentially have this massive responsibility and for my life to change. And it felt like it was going to happen so quickly, which is ironic because it absolutely did not. And I had about 9 months, I guess, to, not 9 months, about 8 months to adjust, to get used to the idea. And that's one thing I found. One thing I found is it doesn't happen as suddenly and quickly as you think. The full process for me, it almost still doesn't feel like I've got a house. There's no moment of, haha, yes, we've got it. There was a little bit. No, I lie. There was a little bit. But it still hasn't fully set in. We haven't moved in. There's work to be done on it. And I think, and I imagine once you move in, you might get that feeling. But there's not this massive one big moment for me where I'm like, oh, yes, we've got a house. It feels complete and settled. It was like, woohoo, yeah, we've got a house. But we've not got a house because you're not moving in yet. So there's these weird feelings that you get with it that we're getting in our situation that I didn't really expect and factor in. And it took so long to get the house that you settle into the idea that you're having a house. You're going to be living with someone. And, looking back and seeing how worried I was about the whole thing, because it was going to feel like such a huge change. It is a change, but it doesn't just happen like that. It's slower, and you have more time to adjust. And it was nice to feel that. It was actually worked out perfectly, really. But yeah, let's talk about some of the other processes with it. Well, I'll talk about the situation. When I filmed that other video, we went and looked at a house, and we loved it. It was near where I already live, and it was cheaper than the current one that we bought, and it was nice. It was great. We were debating it, and what ended up happening is we offered lower than the price. Didn't hear a single thing about it. We'd only found out that it had sold from looking at, I think my girlfriend was looking at other houses, and she found it on the website. It's sold. So they don't even tell you That's one thing I was surprised by. They don't even tell you that your offer's not accepted. Obviously, we assume it wasn't. Not a yawn. So then we'd give up, basically. We'd absolutely give up, and we'd gone, no, we're not buying a house. We'll wait a long time. We don't need it right now. And then literally a week later, my girlfriend saw a house on the internet, and we said, looks pretty good. Looks decent, that. Let's go have a look. So we went and had a look. We said, let's not get our expectations too high. If we don't like it, we don't like it. We'll put it off for another 6 months and start looking again. And then we got there, and we absolutely loved it, basically. Fantastic house. Pretty perfect, again. And, yeah. Then we put an offer in. We weren't sure at first, I guess. But then we put an offer in. We put an offer in just because we wanted to view the house, and that's in that situation that we had, because it was a house and it had a lot of offers. You had to put an offer in if you wanted to view it. So we just did it. And it almost felt like a bit of an accident, a bit like, what the hell are we doing? And then we got accepted. And then it snowballed from there, really. It was this process of like, oh, shit, we're buying a house. And then when you view it, you love it, and you got all these different things. I know I just got my story wrong at the start, but yeah, you did. Oh no, we wanted to view it again. Sorry, that's why you had to put an offer in. But anyway, I can't stop yawning. What the hell? This has been happening. New videos. Come on, stop yawning. So yeah, one of the things that happened from then is you gotta think about mortgages. You've got to think about solicitors, and how overwhelming that actually is, and how much you have absolutely no idea what the hell is going on. You have zero clue about anything. And what is going on here? Yeah, you have zero clue about anything, really. You're completely new to it all. You never learned anything. And especially with mortgages, we were convinced you had to have a broker. We were convinced a whole bunch of things you had to have. You don't have to have any of them. Luckily, if you just ask your parents, they've been through it before. Most people who have a house have been through it. And by most, I mean all. So it's new to you, but it's not new in the world. That's what you've got to look at. And I can't stop yawning. What the hell? So yeah, it's all new to you. You have no idea what's going on. And one thing that really helped me was Martin Moneyman's. He's got this document, buying your first home, and it explains everything on that. And once I read that document, I understood everything. I was like, okay, this is what's happening. And that helped me massively at the start to understand everything and different mortgage stuff. And yeah, I am losing my train of thought. This is not a quick and good video. But yeah, from that point on, then it was just speaking to solicitors, getting different searches and stuff like that. All sorted and all in place. And your solicitor does that for you. That's one thing I was focused on. This is ridiculous. That's one thing I was focused on. Let your solicitor do the work. I mean, you're paying them, for God's sake. and they'll walk you through it, and you ask them any questions that you need to know. And then after however long it's going to take, you eventually get the house, and it is pretty simple. When you've got your mortgage, when you've read this document that I'm on about from Martin Moneyman, it's all pretty simple after that point. And your solicitors take care of everything. You don't rush on anything that you don't understand. Yeah. And then you get the house, you pick up the keys, and you start doing your jobs. And that's what situation we're currently in. And again, we're learning things, and we are a bit overwhelmed by the task at hand and how many jobs have to be done and who we've got to ring and the quotes we've got. We have no idea what prices for things are reasonable, and the quadruple the price that you expect them to be. And then you ain't got enough money. And you start panicking a bit. But at the end of the day, you just got to attack it every job at a time, step by step, and not look at the huge thing, because it is a huge thing. And you're not going to get it done otherwise. And that's what we're at the moment. And I'm sure in a couple of months looking back, we'll say, well, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. But it's managing what you want done, and what jobs have to be, in what order, stuff like that. But you're just brand new to it. And you're going to get this feeling so many times. The two feelings of being overwhelmed and of not knowing anything. And all you got to do is learn and experience, I guess. But yeah, what a bit of a dream come true, really. While it was all, your final weeks, try and sit and appreciate what's actually happening, what you're actually doing, and how proud of yourself you can be that you're buying a house. It's not easy. It's not easy to save up the money for everything. It's not easy to manage it all, to get through it all. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of new things, and there's a lot of responsibility on it. And there's a lot of areas you can't mess up on. But if you just listen, if you do your research, and if you just listen to the people you pay, who experience it all the time, you look at the solicitors, it's the job. They're surrounded by it all the time. You got to trust them. It becomes a lot easier. But yeah, what a moment in life, really. It makes me happy. It makes me proud that that's what I'm doing. But yeah, look how far we've come, especially from listening to that video this morning. It's crazy how I can just watch those feelings and emotions happen, and look how I am now. But yeah, anyway, peace.